The show. Let's talk about it. The Detroit Pistons defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight, going up 2-0 in the series. They defeated them 107-97, and James Harden had another stinker performance in the playoffs. In the fourth quarter, 0 points. Missed the one shot that he took. No steals, no blocks. A -9 plus minus, and he had a game-sealing turnover as well. Our boy Nick Wright put out a tweet saying, today was James Harden's 182nd career playoff game. It was the 36th time that he's had 3 or fewer made field goals. Nearly 20% of his career playoff games. It was the 46th time that he has had as many or more turnovers than made field goals. More than 25% of his career playoff games. Cannot believe this is a real stat. It's insane that it actually is a real stat. Guys, is James Harden, after being traded for and sending Darius Garland out to Los Angeles, is he sabotaging the Cleveland Cavaliers?
James Harden is unfortunately doing what James Harden has always done throughout the history of his career. The problem is he done brought it to Cleveland. He did it in Houston. We saw that. Came up short. I think he went 2 for 13 from the three-point line, and they got to have it game. He did it in Philly. We saw it. Came up short. Blew his series lead, if I'm not mistaken, versus the Boston Celtics. And now James Harden has taken his shortcomings to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Here's the thing with me for James Harden. If you're not going to get buckets, at least drop dimes. You can't avoid getting buckets and also struggle dropping dimes. Pick a struggle, James Harden. I believe he had 10 points and 3 dimes this game. Make that make sense. Like, if you're not going to get buckets, I understand that. Let Spidey get the buckets. But Harden, then go out there and drop 8 to 12 dimes and at least be a conduit for points on the offensive end. But at the point in which James Harden is a drain and he's not a funnel, what are we talking about? Dude was a -15. The next worst from any other starter was a -6, a -15. James Harden was supposed to make the Cavs better. Darius Garland was exchanged for James Harden because we thought to ourselves, James Harden, we need your firepower on the offensive end. Hell, we need your experience. And we also could use you as a point, being a legitimate conduit for success on the offensive end. But there's not a world in which Spidey can go out there and drop 31 and James Harden, you just drop 10. Like, Spidey gave a winning effort. Jared Allen, he showed up today, gave a winning effort, had 22 and 7. And then James Harden, you decide to go ghost. Now y'all down 0-2. I also think it's insurmountable. I'm disappointed in James Harden. Atrocious performance.
The Cleveland Cavaliers traded Darius Garland for James Harden for these moments.
Yeah, exactly.
For these moments when we need you in the playoffs because you've had so many experiences that you're not going to have to carry the load with us.
Yep.
Donovan Mitchell will be the one. We feel you can be a great 2, and he's letting them down. That, to me, is, I'm sure they're kicking themselves in the butt because they gave up a young player for an older player, looking at the Eastern Conference with Jason Tatum out and saying, this probably can be our year that we can get to the finals again. Since LeBron. Like, we can do something, and James Harden just isn't playing well.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this has kind of been what he's done in the playoffs throughout his career. But more than, like, Evan Mobley, you got to score more than 9 points. Because when you sign the type of contract that Evan Mobley signs, you have to give me more than 9 points in the playoffs. You have, like, Evan Mobley is 6'11", 7 foot, right?
Yeah.
9 points.
Yeah. Bro, one
but
board.
Even worse than
one
that.
rebound.
He
Yeah,
had one rebound.
One board.
He had one rebound.
Come on, bro.
And so, yes, Harden, you have to play better. But Evan Mobley, you got to play better as well. But this is almost, you would say, par for the course of Harden. Normally in the second round, though, Harden's not fatigued.
Yeah.
He normally gives you buckets at this junction of the playoffs. It's at conference finals where he starts to wear it. I don't know what's going on with James, because Donovan Mitchell did his part. This game was nip and tuck all the way through. This is a game where James Harden, if you go 6 for 13, it's a different game.
Kieran, you know what, though? This is why rings matter. It's not this dumb ring culture debate. I'm with you on the LeBron 6 for 6, no game 7s. It's an unfair. This is why rings matter. Because James Harden has legitimately kept or withheld other stars from the opportunity for chasing rings. Spidey's 31-point effort is good enough for a dub. I get it. Evan Mobley didn't show up today, but in all honesty, Jared Allen compensated for Evan Mobley.
But they brought James Harden in for this.
Correct.
They brought him in for this.
To me, when I think about James Harden, This is why I cannot consider him an all-time great player. I can consider him an all-time great scorer. Hell, I can consider him an all-time great talent. But I can't consider him an all-time great player because James Harden does not do what great players need to do when it's needed of great players. He just doesn't do it. And we've seen it in Philly with Embiid when Embiid was playing at an MVP caliber level. And it was like, Harden, bro, I need you for a game. Yeah. I need you for a game. I don't need you for the whole series. Bro, I need you for a game or two. Can I get a game or two from you, bro? And with all due respect, in Houston, couldn't do it. Philly, couldn't do it. Not even going to talk about Brooklyn. Not even going to talk about Brooklyn, but he couldn't do it there either. And now in Cleveland, this is a wounded Pistons team. Yeah. And not wounded by health, wounded by inexperience. This is a Pistons team where the Magic took a chunk of flesh out of them. And Harden, you can't even help now. Come on.
What's the rebound differential? Because I know Cleveland had 30. Because nobody on Cleveland had double-digit rebounds. Not one player.
It was 6 different. The Pistons had 42. The Cleveland Cavaliers ended up having 36. Yeah, no, but it's a tough situation though. With only getting one board, Jalen Duren really, just doing what he needs to do on the boards. Again, I think what we saw to James Harden today was just a continuation of what we've seen from him in the playoffs. When he was in his prime, winning MVPs, and then he was averaging 26% from the three-point line while attempting 10 threes a game in 16 and 17 when they made the playoffs and Western Conference Finals against the Warriors. You saw that he can be a bit of a liability in the playoffs. So the idea that the Cavaliers were going to trade Darius Garland, a younger player who was hurt last year in the playoffs, if you guys don't remember, he was hurt, ended up missing a lot of games last year in the playoffs. You trade that guy to get a piece that you think might be able to help you compete. It was crazy. It was not a smart move, especially for a 36-year-old James Harden. And this to me is why when we were having the debate during the season about who's the third best shooting guard of all time, or who's in your top 5 shooting guards? We're talking about the Allen Iversons of the world. We're talking about the Dwayne Wades of the world. This is why James Harden, in my mind, will never be above those two. Mm-hmm. You can't show up when it matters most. And at 36 years old, this wasn't just a 1 or 2 season thing. This has been the story of James Harden's career. Yeah. Not being able to show up when it matters most. So yes, I'm right there with you. All-time great scorer. Some of the most exciting, fun, awesome moments. You can't tell the story of the NBA without him. But he's more Tracy McGrady than he is Dwayne Wade. He does not show up when it matters most. I really think he's this era's Tracy McGrady when you look at it. A phenomenal scorer. Incredible scorer. Awesome offensive anomaly, but whenever it matters most in the playoffs, I can't depend on you to show up for anything. Years. Let Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell take their playoff lumps instead of trading them away and now getting a guy that can't show up and makes 3 field goals tonight. More turnovers than field goals in multiple games.
You know what's crazy? As great a career as James Harden has had, he's going to be remembered most for falling short than he ever is for accomplishing.
Absolutely.
James Harden is the face of underachievement. James Harden is the face of elite talent, but lack of clutch. James Harden is the face of shrinking in the biggest moments. James Harden is the face of letting his teammates down. James Harden is the face of hard work beating talent when talent doesn't work hard. James Harden, he is the poster child for great, but not good when it matters most. That's the dilemma with James Harden. As talented as James Harden is, he will not be remembered for his MVP. His MVP, to me, it falls secondary to his underachievement in the postseason, and that's a shame.
Because of the way James Harden is, 30?
Probably 36. He's 36. He's going to be 37 next season.
So should any of this surprise anybody because of the history of how he's performed in the playoffs?
No.
Like, why would you expect that it would be any different? Is it because Donovan Mitchell now will be the number 1 option and you can be the 2 option? Is that what you would assume the brass and Cleveland thought, okay, we'd make James a second option. He's a great second option. Not so much will be on his shoulders that he'll perform. And when Donovan Mitchell gives us 31, it's like, what a terrible time to have a bad game.
No, exactly. It's not surprising though, TJ, and I think that's the most frustrating thing if you are a Cavaliers fan. This isn't a super duper deep East. They're young, they're talented, but you had another guy that I think could have contributed in these moments.
I'm surprised. Here's why. Every time Halle Berry get divorced, I'm surprised. Every time.
Where we going?
Every time J-Lo gets divorced, I'm surprised.
You're not divorced with either one of them?
It's not even that.
They just look too good?
It's just that I'm just surprised.
Like,
I'm
what's
surprised
going
that
on?
another man would look at an icon, a pop culture icon that's very attractive in their own right by societal standards, and divorce him. I'm just surprised. Now,
Jennifer
in theory,
Lopez too?
Kieran, yeah, J-Lo too. In theory, you shouldn't be surprised, right? That's the track record. But you just look at the person's skill set, and you're like, surely you're gonna come through. I look at James Harden's skill set, and I'm like, there's no way it can happen again. Like the last dude had to be tripping.
It's surprising.
He had to be tripping. So to me, T, like, you're right. I should expect it, but I just look at him when I look at it, like I look at Hallie when she began to, and I'm like, there's just it doesn't make sense. And James, it just doesn't make sense to me. It does. Is the series over?
Yeah.
Dang.
I really think it is. I also think
This is crazy to
I also,
hear
I also
from
think.
y'all.
Hold on. I also think Pistons do a great job defensively. But what do you think, Trey?
I been high on the Pistons. I told y'all that I believed in the Pistons. And y'all
Man,
sat
every
up here and
series is
Cavs
over.
this and Cavs that and Cavs this.
That's true.
Now I don't think the series is over. I don't think it's just over.
I think every series is over except one.
T-Wolves?
Yep. It's only one.
No. It's only one. I can say that.
I don't agree with that.
Do you anticipate Harden can help lead a team to win 4 out of 5? Or they win 4 out of 6?
4 out of 4. They have
No.
5 games left, so they need to win 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
It's over then.
I don't think Harden's the one to do it. Donovan Mitchell is going to have to score 35 plus a game for them to.
But Spidey's never done it either. He's never gone to the conference finals.
But he hasn't shit the bed quite like James has.
No.
More turnovers than field goals is. We can't keep having that beat in there. And at some point, as a player, as a competitor, and I know it's easy for me to say sitting behind the desk, never played in the NBA, all the things. To be like, at some point, bro, you gotta turn it on.
Yeah.
You can't be 3 for 9 in a closeout game, then come back 3 for 9 again, 3 for 12. Like, you can't
But my
come
thing
out
is, though,
and do
at
that.
36 years old, I don't even know how many seasons there. He's in year 17, year 16.
Something like that, yeah.
This is who he is.
Yeah.
This
In
is
the
who
playoffs.
James in the playoffs. In the
Yeah.
playoffs.
Yeah.
One of the greatest regular season offensive talents the sport has ever seen.
Yeah.
But in the playoffs, this is who James Harden is.
Yeah.
This is just who he's been.
I agree. Yeah,
And
it's
like,
just,
I don't
but
know.
it's like I don't know. It's again, it's easier said than done. But it's like, damn, you don't have that much of a chip on your shoulder of all these people. Like Nick Wright has gone on TV and said you got this many games of more
But
turnovers
it
than
ain't
field
like
goals.
he's
in the
not
play.
trying to play well. He's just
Yeah.
he just is.
But you got
is
as a professional, you got to be able to maneuver. Like Acho said, go to a strictly facilitating role. Like just quit.
What do you
shooting
think about
the ball.
him taking one shot in the fourth quarter? Do you think the confidence is gone from James Harden? Because this is my
No,
thing.
I don't think that. I never
if
think
James
that.
Harden in the fourth quarter of a game is only taking one shot,
in a
I'm
close
sitting there
game,
asking
one
myself,
shot. It's
it's crazy.
Yeah,
if he's taking
You
one
think his
shot,
confidence is
in a
gone?
close game, and you James Harden,
Yeah.
you're known for scoring.
you're James Harden. And I'll also add this. If that's the mentality, guys, at 36 years old, I don't think James Harden's a starter for a championship team. You could be a 6-man coming off the bench. You could be quality. We've seen him in that role before when he was younger. I'd love to see him end his career in that role, giving me good buckets off the bench. Awesome.
Yeah.
Go join a team that you can play that role in. But right now, he's asking to be. He's asked to do
being
too
asked
much.
to do too
He's
much.
being
Yeah.
asked to do too much.
Yeah.
And that's just.
But I also think James Harden's afraid of the moment. Because to be the man to take the shot, you have to be the man willing to have missed the shot. And then when you only take one shot, they can't blame you. I only shot once. You can't be mad at me. To James Harden to me is
Here we are, though.
afraid of the big moment. Yeah.
Maybe now. Maybe now.
Yeah.
James Harden. He's been a very clutch player.
But
in terms of like knocking down jump shots, not like winning series or winning games or
I was about
anything
to
like
start
that.
sneezing,
No.
to
Don't
start
start sneezing
sneezing.
on me, no. But in terms of like being the one to take the shot and knock the shot down, he did it for the Clippers, even in his most recent stint with them. Like he had a lot of clutch shots, while Kawhi was out. But I don't know that I can say his confidence is shot. I think he realizes that other guys around him are more talented at this point and more capable of shooting and taking these shots.
I mean, he's
I
being
don't
guarded by Tobias.
I don't think
anybody's
anybody's more talented at getting a bucket outside of Spidey.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But Donovan Mitchell's shown that he's clutch in big moments as well. True. So I think he just is like, I'm cool deferring at this point, especially given the fact that I'm just not playing well in either of these playoff series. So I think James Harden definitely has a lot to prove, and he's not on the right track.
What the super chat's talking about, bro?
We do have some more super chats, and Team Acho and Social Trade is showing up and showing out. My guy Javante Crawford, 7559 said, shout out to my guys, the Convoy